So most of us have probably not ever greased the hinges on our doors, and I thought of doing this for a strange reason the other day. Now, the 123s, 116s, 108s, 109s, probably 114s all have the same hinges. There's the nice sound of the 116 door. 124s are different and don't have this hinge that you're going to see, which basically has a central nipple or grease recess to put the grease in. Now the factory tool's not going to be found, and I started looking at ways of doing it. So you can see there's a little bearing which I would free up with some degreaser before you get going, so it can actually let the grease in. Also degrease around the edges of the hinge to get rid of the old gunk. So this is the device I bought. It's called a chainsaw bar sprocket. I don't know what that is, but this seems to work. And I was a bit skeptical, and this is one I bought locally. It cost me about 50 bucks, but you can get them online for about 20 something bucks, but I'd like to support local. White lithium grease was recommended for the hinges. I'm not quite sure, but anything is better than what I have. Now this device has got a small opening at the needle end and this empty canister where you put the grease into. So you can see the little bleeder there, and then you just fill it up with grease. Excuse my haphazard one-handed technique. Before that clear plastic cap goes in, and then the red cap over the back. The only other tools that are available, there are needles that will fit the grease guns. I reckon they'll snap and you'll stab yourself. I do have access to surgical supplies and wondered even about a lure lock drawing up needle on like a 30 ml syringe, but this is how we went. And then the red cap goes on and I clean all the rubbish off. Initially I was a bit daft and I just put it there and tried to push it in with my finger, but it's actually a pumping motion that actually gets it going. So you can see I've actually cleaned all the grease out of the top as much as I can, and then after a few rounds this will start to extrude through. More seems to come out from the bottom of the hinge. I'm not quite sure if there's obstructions at the top still, but after a while you can wipe off all the crud that gets extruded out and you'll start to see cleaner new grease coming through. I would open the door, maneuver it, and then so it spreads about, and then just kept going a few more times to make sure that I've got new grease up there. Now again, I'm not sure on the exact manufacturer specifics here, but new grease has got to be better than no grease. So you can see it's extruding out of the bottom. I'm going to wipe that off, and just be careful how much degreaser you put on there, because I think that's why I've lost that bit of paint. I didn't use brake cleaner, that was just degreaser a little bit. And then I moved on to the bottom hinge and continued, where I didn't get much grease out the top, only the bottom. And my doors ultimately, they were working well, and I hope the grease keeps them working just as long.